You know when you're a kid and you're asleep and
Your imagination.
your clothes looks like a person standing in front of you.
Yeah.
Like
That's so weird. The curtains even moved on that one.
No, it's fine. It didn't follow us here.
Oh yeah, fucking gangster. Oh shit. Nice.
Alright guys, episode 2 of the Lobolab podcast.
Wait.
We got
Make sure we cut off the initial part, huh?
what?
Let's just cut off the beginning.
We're gonna leave that part, make sure you got the beginning part. Alright guys, episode 2 of the Lobolab podcast.
Why is he whispering?
We got Danny Marsh right here, Simon Six, and Marco, our guest. So, we just came back from our trip down at the abandoned hospital in Clark. So yeah, we decided to do a podcast just after it. Yeah, so what do you guys think about this whole place?
So the abandoned hospital journey kind of vlog kind of feeling. We basically came up with it in a whim 2 or 3 days ago.
Very impulsive.
And yeah, we did it in a crazy schedule and it was pretty intense. I did a little bit of research on it. It looked pretty crazy. The stories were pretty scary and stuff like that. And then we were just supposed to be initially meet the 3 of us that were going to go, and our friend EJ.
Tell the story.
But then basically EJ backed out because he's a pussy. He says it's work, but whatever, bro. Like anyway, no, basically he backed out because he didn't want to go. And Marco saw my Instagram story this morning when I said we're about to head. Literally, we were about to go in a few hours to.
Maybe 2 hours earlier.
Yeah.
I wasn't awake.
And then he says, "Hey, bro, can I go?" And I'm like, "Sure." And he's like, "Oh."
Yeah, so
Explain it.
Yeah, and then, I thought it was just going to be something that it was a plan. I didn't see it coming, and then he was like, later, it's 2 p.m. I was like, what do you mean, later at 2 p.m.? He's like, yeah, and then I started really asking myself, wait, fuck, should I really go?
It was funny too, because he's like, "Yeah, man, we'll find out when we go." And I'm like, "Yeah, we're gonna." I think actually you thought it was another day. I was like, "It's today, bro."
it's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, he showed up on my place. I didn't even know because what happens is that last night I was basically watching tennis so late. And today I woke up at 12 in the morning. That never happens because I wake up at like 8.
You're an early bird, yeah.
And then you give me 2 calls and I missed those 2 calls, right? And then you call me and you're like, "Oh, there's another guy coming." I'm like, "Great, cheaper van."
And less fear.
Yeah, let's hear as well. So that was cool. And when we were waiting for him to arrive, and he got into the wrong van with a bunch of
with
Korean
the
guys.
Japanese people, those
Yeah,
creatures.
Japanese, yeah.
Yeah, they were so nice, but they were confused at the same
Yeah.
I should
time.
have brought them to the hospital.
But yeah, anyway, that was the whole plan, and it was pretty quick. And we rented a van, and we arrived at around 4.
Our good friend Jake, who'd be in the vlog.
Yeah, or driver Jake.
Oh, Jake was a legend. Yeah. We tried to get him to go in with us, but he was
He was a
too
bit
scared.
superstitious about it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we arrived there like 4:30. It was pretty creepy at first. Yeah, that was the first time
Daylight
ever.
is not like crazy creepy, but when it gets dark, it is really creepy.
You start
Especially when
seeing-
you come out of it and you look behind you and you see.
But even
yeah,
then,
the
like
shape
even
of
when it was daylight, the whole bat situation.
Mhm.
The
Like,
bats.
I just don't want that bat hitting my face. That was
Yeah.
one of my main things. Just wanting to slap me across the
Yeah,
face.
so when we first arrived, and the main thing you'll notice, first thing you'll feel, especially because we went in the side, is the elements. You're battling against the humidity, you're battling against the sweat, you're battling against the mosquitoes, the
Rain.
bats,
God,
the
biggest
spiders,
shock.
the cockroaches. We were getting bitten everywhere, and I was thinking I'm probably gonna die of dengue before it was
Yeah.
a spirit, you
A
know.
lot of mosquitoes.
Yeah. So that was the first thing I noticed. So if anyone does go into a scenario like that, I'm not saying that particular place, but if anyone goes into a scenario like that, remember to bring long sleeve.
Yeah,
or
start
something.
wearing sport stuff.
He brought it. That's smart.
Yeah, because I was like, oh my god, we're going on an adventure. what do I need? So I start packing, right? And I look at my clothes and I'm like, no, I'm gonna look like some The Rock shit, you know? And I was like, some Under Armour stuff. And I was like, so I put my Under Armour, my nylon stuff
You got
on.
your long sleeves, you got your
You know,
banana,
I
no
should have
flashlight.
thought of that.
You know what's funny? Because I'm the one suggestion the day before. You guys bring long pants, a jumper, because and there I come in with short
Shorts.
sleeves and
Yeah, how
shorts,
did that happen?
I just like that's my clothes.
I didn't think there'd be mosquitoes because I just thought it was an empty concrete building. I didn't factor in the water and the
Jumping around
rain.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But creepy.
Interesting. It's creepy. It's really big. It's a really big lot of land and a lot. And
Yeah. Well, we went from the back of it, right?
Yeah.
So there was no like signs at all. It was just pretty much open, right?
Yeah, it
So
was open.
went in from the back of the building. Beside the actual abandoned hospital, there's another newer building, and I think we saw two guys. But I think they were construction guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So avoid those people. But we went from the back, so there's no signs.
And we missed the morgue. We could have went into the
Yeah.
morgue.
So, one of the locations we
There's gonna
wanted
be
to
an
go was the
episode
morgue.
I think we have to go back to the morgue.
Let's go back now.
Oh my god.
But yeah, the thing is about this place is, once it gets dark, it gets creepy.
Yeah,
right?
because when you have the light kind of is like a way out,
It's your friend.
and you can kind of chill it and you know it's there. Whereas when it's gone, you just feel you've literally been it's just you in all of this
It's all your
And the
flashlights.
black,
Yeah.
unknown. Yeah.
But I love the fact that we got there early because we got to see all the drawings in
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
explore.
There's a lot of like satanic signs, upside down crosses, which is
Yeah,
really creepy.
that's.
And what bothers me is that when you see a long alley and it's dark, and you have to look through both doors, you never know what's gonna happen, right?
Imagine
That's
if we
crazy.
got there at night and then we would have not known about those holes in the thing. you
Yeah.
know?
Oh yeah.
And someone got scared, dude.
If you happen to go there, just make sure that
Mind
you
your
mind your step. Yeah,
It is.
arrive
Arrive
a bit earlier because there's a lot of
It's
holes.
a very tall 5-6 story building with a lot of like rebar sticking out and 5-story drops. Even the elevator was like
Yeah.
just demolished in there.
It was just a hole
yeah.
down there. Guys, really don't be dumb. If you want to go there, visit it, but just watch where you step because literally any moment, any of us, if we didn't really mind our steps, we could have like super died.
Yeah. So, like Daniel said, we didn't get to see the morgue part, but we.
The scariest part.
There
for
was
me
a place where there was holes, right, and underneath there was just a chair in the middle of the hole, just on its own. So that's
It was like a
creepy.
well.
It was a well, yeah, it looks like a well. There's a few of them actually in different areas, but in the one on the corner, we actually saw human bones,
Yeah.
which is creepy.
And I didn't initially. I was like, did someone throw this in? Because I was thinking of this place as more of a tourist attraction for horror seekers, right? And I thought, the whole like drawings and graffiti kind of seems to sum up this kind of creation of like the locale and the culture around it. But then when I saw the bones, I was like, oh, this is real.
Yeah, the skull.
This is real. You can see
The
the
skull. There was
skull
like a
and the
femur,
leg
yeah.
bone.
Yeah.
There was a femur, yeah.
The ribs.
The ribs as well.
And
yeah.
I don't know if I told you guys, but I saw something. I was looking at drawings if it was actually just the same old the cross or like the triangle with the circle and the stick, like that same old. But then I saw one in a post standing outside. I'll try to look at it on the vlog. On the poster was like this in paint blue, like this thing like this, and then the stick here, and then something on top. And I saw it in one of those actual horror movies inspired.
Yeah,
and
what is that
shit
meant
like
to
that. I don't
I'm
know,
not sure, yeah.
but if it's there, I remember seeing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, is it really just like the simple stuff, or like it makes sense if people went there and did cults and
Yeah.
stuff like that?
Yeah.
The other thing we did is we spoke to the locals, and they were saying that, about the whole situation. Obviously, they got bombarded by the Japanese. And what year was that?
World War
World
II.
War II, yeah.
Yeah, 1946.
So, but they were saying that don't go underground, apart from the fact that there's a morgue, but there's a python right there.
Yeah, there's a
Snakes.
snake. There's a
Yeah.
big ahas, malaking ahas, though.
But we didn't even see one.
We never saw
Do you
it.
guys really think
I
there
don't
was
know.
an actual?
But if everyone keeps saying it, it might be true. But
It
you
could be
don't
like the
know.
town. It could be
a-
like the towns,
Yeah,
Maybe that's what they tell the kids to keep them from going in there.
yeah.
Apparently,
But the funniest thing is when I first saw the hole, I was like, "Oh, we could jump in. This would be fun."
yeah.
And
It's pretty
because
big.
up until then, I didn't really feel anything kind of scary or whatever. I was like, "Yeah, this is all right." And then I went in, I was like,
20
oh, I
seconds
was
later.
gonna jump into the hole, and then he's like, "Oh, look here, there's bones." And I look in, I'm like, "There's bones." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm
the
not
question
gonna
is,
jump into
how
that
old
hole."
are those bones?
Well, they said 1990. That's what the woman said. So basically, what happened was when Mount Pinatubo erupted, all the sick they couldn't
evacuate them.
So basically, they left them
That's
there,
crazy.
and then when they died, they cremated them down there, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know what's true and what's like legend or what's.
Like the python. That sounds something out of Harry Potter and the basilisk.
Well, that's not a spiritual thing.
Because it's so damp at the bottom. So I mean, why not?
But
Risk it.
another reason why it's hard to go in there is I think it's blocked off from the side. You know when you go into that side thing.
The staircase we took, and it was all like a big tree.
They blocked it off.
That
was
wasn't there
blocked,
years ago. Yeah. That was meant to lead down into the under, at the basement level.
Yeah.
Also, they blocked that
They
with
blocked it
branches.
because of all the bones and stuff. It's creepy.
That's creepy.
And-
So that's when you were aiming
When
there.
you
And if we went down there,
So that was.
I started.
And I was wanting
I just
to
started
go there.
feeling that weird feeling inside. It's like this is just not a good feeling. It's weird. In certain parts of the building, you do feel a bit strange, but that could be psychological a lot of the times.
I don't know. It could be, but dude, we entered by like not literally feeling anything, and then the minute we were going out, we were having those breaks. You couldn't feel anything. But the minute you were in those like areas that looked like shit, my bad, that looked that looked like strange, then we were like, oh wait, it feels strange because it doesn't just look like it because we felt it.
Yeah.
And that's when we got the one going down to the basement
The
thing.
little hole there.
Yeah, that whole room. Did you feel the heaviness on your shoulders?
Yeah, I felt the weight on my legs. Like it's like pulling me down. I don't know what to explain. It was
Because if
weird.
anything happens, like the thing is, you go to these places for one reason, to see something. But once you're there, you don't exactly want to see something weird, but you do at the same time.
Yeah.
It's weird, right? There's like this in between. Like I want to, but I don't want to, because if I'm walking in one of these alleys and I see a little girl there on its own,
I would freak out.
I'd freak out. Honestly, freak out. I don't know what I would do.
We heard hello randomly, which is very strange.
Yeah, so we were was that the second floor? Second floor, yeah.
Mhm.
We heard hello, and we thought maybe it was somebody or security or anything like that. And we were deciding whether to say hello back or just kind of walk away. So I decided, let's say hello back. So I said hello, and they didn't reply.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went down actually. We kind of got away from there because it's just weird. Because everything on the darkness just becomes so much like
The dogs
creepy.
freaking sold you.
You know what I mean? No, it's fine. It just becomes creepy at night. And so
It
you don't
wasn't
know what to do.
even like, I don't know if it was a guard. It wasn't a guy. Do you know what I mean? It was kind of a girl
Yeah.
calling.
I thought it sounded like a girl.
Right?
I thought it was a girl. I didn't think
I
it
can't wait
was
to
a
see
guy.
the footage. Just
wait to
to
hear it.
really like boost it.
But also, then we left because we were number one freaked out by getting just I don't know getting
Yeah.
whatever the hell it was. So we left just to take a break, and as we go outside in the road, we hear this creepy weird sound which I could not explain.
So
Now I'm telling you, I think that this was a joke by somebody who's playing
Right.
jokes, or it's a weird
You know what?
creature, or it's the bark of the tree going. But it just didn't make any sense. It sounded like
It
a
sounded
door.
like a
creaking.
door.
I
creaking
cannot
slowly.
explain what that was.
because a branch, first of all, it wasn't windy. Alright, so there was no way
semi-windy.
that a branch
It was
would
slightly
move.
windy, I would say,
Yeah.
but not like.
But it was a perfect door noise. It was just
Come on, what branch that would make that?
Yeah,
noise?
but it could be a
Perfect,
person,
perfect.
right? Like going. But then again, why would a person be in the middle of the hedges to scare us? Because it is hedges. But that's just weird.
But the first one we heard properly with.
Yeah, you heard it pretty loud. The two of you.
Yeah, I remember I
First
grabbed my
time you
hand.
jumped.
Yeah, so I
You
was
grabbed
like,
my hand.
no, it was more like security.
It literally felt
Same.
like a small elephant, a baby elephant.
Right? Yeah.
That's
it
what
was
it sounded
weird.
It sounded like a.
So
I think you guys are
Oh,
trying.
like that, like that.
You're trying to scare me and Dan.
no, man, I go.
Something like that.
So as soon as you leave, noises.
fuck, that's
But
weird.
then you're inside, nothing.
That
Just
was
like,
a
hello.
weird. That was probably the weirdest thing that happened. The hello could have been someone, but and I could understand now how a lot of people would like think that there's like a lot of noises because it's kind of like an echo chamber.
Yeah,
And
I
there's a
mean,
lot of people around the outside.
At
so,
night, you
yeah,
hear everything.
you hear everything,
becomes scary,
and it
right?
just amplifies. So
One of
Yeah,
the,
the thing is that, like, let's say people that live there, right? Like, they think it's ghosts, but because, like, we have experiences, like, since we were kids, we're involved in, like, this kind of movies. If we hear something, will think that it's someone from the outside.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not.
It's so hard.
Is it coming from here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
but
what I
that
mean?
girl was pretty close. Thing is, when that person
No
said,
flashlight.
"Oh, I used a flashlight,"
But they had none. That's
Yeah.
what was weird. Like
Yeah.
if they were like, you know, on the property working there, you'd think they'd have a flashlight. There was
yeah,
nothing.
you know what? Now that I think about it,
There was no
the
light.
hello was so close to us. No
Yeah.
flashlight. I say hello back, no reply.
It would have been here to the front door nearly.
And they would have heard us back.
I don't know. I'm really trying to think.
But
if
I
it was-
put the
Yeah,
flashlight. Remember,
because
I
we're
put the flashlight,
putting
there's
the
nobody.
facts.
There's
Yeah, we're
nobody.
putting the facts,
Yeah.
and it just right now it doesn't make sense.
Because actually, if it was security,
They would have a
usually
flashlight.
they go like, "You can't be here. Get out of here."
That didn't sound like a security.
No,
It was a girl. That
And
was
they
a
were
girl.
genuinely saying like, hello? Not like, hey. You know, it was like,
Yeah, if it was
calling
security,
out.
they would be like more like, get out of there or something.
But to be
like
fair, like when we were there, we did see a couple taking pictures outside the actual abandoned building.
Were
but
they
then
a couple or were they a ghost
An
couple?
apparition.
an apparition. But we said hi to them. They were friendly, but I don't think they were the
They're
same.
dressed in really old-fashioned clothes.
Yeah. yeah. Is that? Yeah.
They were
Exactly.
taking pictures with.
But the thing is, yeah. Now that you think about it,
Now
that's
that you
weird.
look back, it is a lot of weird
Because
stuff that
the
happened.
hello was so
But-
close.
but-
Then
but-
I
but-
shined the light. Nothing.
The fact is, which is so funny because we were actually kind of like, yeah, we were also really scared. I was really scared of like falling down a hole most of the time. That I think all the freaky shit that did happen, I kind of didn't notice. So like when we got the hello, if I was just thinking about, oh my god, the spirit's here, oh my god, the spirit's here, I would have like heard that hello and been like, oh my god, right?
Yeah.
But because I was just like, oh my god, I'm gonna fall into a hole, or oh my god, what's gonna happen? I wasn't thinking about anything.
No, 'cause
Because you think it's real, you just can't believe that it'd be fake.
I really
something
wanted.
weird.
I really wanted to go and say hello and see who it is.
Yeah, we went to
Uh,
investigate.
But I shined the light and I didn't see anything.
There
So
was
for
no
me,
one.
that was just
And then
like,
that creepy,
it's not close by.
then that creepy noise, man.
Yeah,
Damn.
it's weird. I don't know. It's hard.
Did
to
you hear like step walking, like steps?
steps? No, I
On the
didn't.
stairs, you stopped us and you were like, shh. What was
It
that?
felt like steps, right?
No, I didn't really hear anything. But
Hmm.
I
it's
thought it
just
was steps.
the thing is, the other. What was the other thing the lady said that at around 12 at night
There's a kid
there's a kid
crying.
crying. That's what they hear. Yeah.
That's creepy.
The thing is, yeah. I mean, it would have been nice to hear something like really creepy.
Yeah.
But then again, do you want to?
That's the thing, if it's spiritual stuff.
Because if you see something and we all see it, straight away your life changes right away.
I feel
Because you know what I mean? You see something in front of you
Yeah.
and it's not moving
You
and
can't
it's just like a
explain it
shape
at
of
all.
a human and it's right there in front of you. What do? You run away or you just like get goosebumps and you stay and get paralyzed? Because that's what usually happens.
You get a second
I
baptized.
think people think that they're gonna, run away.
No.
But when you see something like that, I think you just stop
paralyzed.
yourself.
Yeah, even
Oh,
well,
I run away.
so you
I
run
don't
away.
Did you ever see one though?
No, but I would run away. I know how I am. I'm just.
I don't know,
I run
man.
away from everything. You
But the
see?
thing is,
You
you're
like
in the
to-
dark. You don't know where to go.
Actually, yeah, no, I wouldn't run away. I'd just go back. And then I'd look at you guys and be like, where are you guys going?
I
See
mean,
this?
I'll grab you and pull you forward that way. Ciaran!
I've been in spots where like I hear something weird, especially like in my house, just in general, I guess. Like you hear something, and you just stop.
Dude,
You stop
even
and-
me here,
right?
dude, the first months that I was here, and like Rachel wasn't fully, in here, and I was just like, like something would happen down there,
And
like
you
a
stop
sound,
for like, yeah.
and then like, it's so like I've been watching TV, nothing happens. I stop the TV and I look there, and something, or something,
Yeah.
and I just look, and then I'm
Yeah.
like,
You stop for
all
like
right,
30 seconds.
never mind. I
You
think,
wanna hear what's happening.
dude, I think it's more scary than we think it is. Like I think there are stuff like this all over some places.
You know, he had a very weird experience just like a few days ago in your place when you had this
Yeah.
weird dream.
What was
I had this like, it was my last day in my condo, literally moving out the next day. And I had this really vivid dream. Like I can't remember exactly what it was now, but at the time I knew it was super real.
Mhm.
That something cataclysmic was happening, that a lot of people were dying, or like my building was coming down, or a tidal wave was coming in and just wiping out whatever. And I woke up in a shock, like really like grasped my air. And I woke up like, my head's in the pillow and my girlfriend's in the bed beside me and she's facing me. and her eyes are closed. She's fully asleep, and she says to me in a weird, not her voice, like, "Yes, okay then." And I like went to shake her, and I stopped myself because I didn't want to wake her. And then I just thought about it for a second, like, am I losing my mind? This is too weird. Because what you said was kind of related to my dream, like where I just woke up. And it freaked me out. And I just woke her up a little bit and said, are you awake? She kind of went, and I was like, kind of rolled her over and I went back to bed. But it creeped me out.
No, I totally get you. I had something like that too. And I was like, this dream, it was so long, but long story short, in the dream, she had a doppelganger. Mm-hmm. And this doppelganger was turning her evil because she was getting the nice side of Rachel, right? Mm-hmm. And same story happened. So I was so scared of losing Rachel because it was getting all creepy and evil and stuff like that. I wake up and she's coincidentally, she starts acting like a robot, like good morning or dude, I fucking cried.
Are you serious?
Dude, I was crying and I was like, oh my god, and am I in a dream again? And then I started crying. She's like, oh shit, what did I do?
Like, this is back in Ireland, and I lived in Brahun. I used to live behind the cemetery, right? It was an old one.
See?
Come on.
They're saying, yep, we're here.
My name is Jeff.
Oh, they followed you back?
It's crazy.
They followed us.
Yeah, we have the spirits here.
Maybe not.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
that place, I lived behind a cemetery, right? So at the time it was me, my brother, and my mom's boyfriend at the time, right? And that place, you always hear weird stuff in that place. So one day, this is the ultimate of like creepy as fuck. And even then, I'm still skeptical of what it was. But like, we were sleeping, right? And all the bedrooms are upstairs. So I'll be in my computer, my brother will be in his room, and then out of nowhere we hear the door downstairs moving. With the kitchen, the door is in the kitchen, and then you open and there's your back garden. Mm-hmm. So we keep hearing the door opening. So we literally, this is what happened. We hear the noise, all of us open the door at the same time, and we did this. So we come out, I get a stick, I can't remember what it was. I think my brother got like a bat or something. So we all went downstairs, like slowly like this. Mm-hmm. As we're going down the stairs, we turn around this way, and the kitchen door that goes to the garden, you can see the handle going like this. Literally, I swear to God, it was moving, man. I get goosebumps from just talking about this shit.
Who was it?
No, wait a second.
So robber.
We hear the door trying to be opened, but it was weird because it was quick.
Oh my god.
Right? So we were like getting closer. I didn't open the door. I think it was my brother. And we like, as he's reaching towards the handle, the fucking thing is still moving.
Jeez.
Right? It was weird. And with it open really quickly, opened nothing there. So fuck this. Yeah, and that was look at
that was a poltergeist right there.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
poltergeist.
None was there.
None was there. But I had even a creepier one, right? Because
That's scary because
Yeah,
it relates to a doorknob. Like, so now I'm gonna go home and be looking at my doorknob. Like, oh my god.
I had a different
We're
one.
gonna start staring at
Bro,
it.
I had a different one. This is even like, you say worse? Yeah, worse. So usually, when I was like, this was like when I was 16, 17, I used to game a lot during the night. So I'll go downstairs, get some food, a cup of coffee. So this time was weird, man. So I go downstairs, make a cup of coffee, 2 toasts, right? Go upstairs, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot my toasts. So I go downstairs again. Bro, I swear to God, this is so weird. All the cabinets opened. The cabinets from like, this one's all open.
And you tell me you didn't move out of it?
No, this is what happens.
After that?
This is what happens. So you
I'd be leaving this place in 2 seconds if I see that
They're
happen.
open now.
So let's say
That shit happened to me as a
so
kid.
let's say this is the alley.
In Ireland.
The kitchen's right there.
Yeah.
I walk in, 2 steps into the kitchen, cabinet is open. Just step back slowly. I just stood there because I didn't know what to do. Because you know what I mean? When you see something, you
You don't know what to do, yeah?
I remember that. Oh my god.
So I just went back upstairs and I fuck that.
You didn't go into your toast?
No, fuck that. I'm back in my fucking toes.
I remember I was like, well, how old were you when this happened?
16, 17.
Yeah, well, I remember I was like 8 or 9. A lot of weird shit used to happen when you're 8 or 9. And I just remember one time, it was very vivid, but it's nothing amazing. But it was during the day, and I was there like just playing or whatever I was doing as a child. But one of the tablecloths, which was on, just goes like this. I was just like, I ran away. I just didn't know what the fuck was going on. And you know what was horrible for me? I was a child who lived all in Ireland. We have big houses that are like far, and we have
Like
big,
the whole hallway. It's
yeah.
just
So think about this. In Ireland, we have big houses that are far from every other bloody house, and like when you're talking about far, they're like a good
10 kilometers.
like no, not 10, but like a good I don't even
Can't hear the neighbours.
like 200, 300 feet away from your other house because everyone has a big land, right?
Yeah.
So it's like and then my parents literally their bedrooms on the other side of the house. So I really feel isolated as a kid in my little spot. It's probably contributed to my anxiety to this day. But those weird things happen.
That sounds like
we
sounds
know-
like sounds like a support group.
You said that we know what to do on a Halloween. Just automatic towels flying.
That's not like
I remember it, man. It goes,
Yeah.
and then it's loads of random
I
things.
used to
like
live
this.
in a condo. This is in Ciaran. This was actually was it a hospital or a military base? It's a huge place, massive square meter, huge, and they turned it into condos. And I actually didn't experience nothing crazy there, but I know a lot of people. There was like different stages, like condo 1, 2, 3, 4, but they were like big places, right? Condo 1 had like 5 buildings and so on and so on. But like I think building D, that's where like the most haunted place was. But like it was like 10th floor, top of the building, and you know when you're a kid, you'll go up there and just like check the place
Check it
out, ring the doorbell, and fuck off quick as possible.
Scariest shit ever.
But that was meant to be like it's a haunted place, but I never experienced anything. My mom did experience something though. I never actually experienced it because she was we were hanging out I was like 11 or 12. They were having dinner, chilling, and this is what my mom told me because I was actually beside her, and she was talking to her friend, and then suddenly her friend's eyes turned red. Nah, she could be bullshit. This is just not coming from me. This is coming from my mom. Her eyes turned red, and she gets really freaked out. And her friend was like, "What's wrong?" And she was like, "Your eyes just turned red." And the weird thing happened after is that I was outside. The door closes.
What was she hitting at that?
Yeah, they were hitting it now. Okay. No, they were just drinking coffee like normal shit. But what happened is like the door closes, right? And I was outside. Now, you can open the door from the outside when you want to come in. It was locked. It was locked. It was a weird thing. It's hard to explain because when you're there, I tried to get in. I was like, why can't I get in?
Jeez.
So I had to knock on the door, and my mom just opened the door. It's just everything happened at the same time. That her eyes turned red, and then I get locked out, and I can't get in. But there was nothing crazy happening.
Someone's blowing their nose.
Yeah. Still goes dynamite. But yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of doppelgangers, you was mentioning one earlier. I saw the weirdest picture ever, and this is real. Like, it wasn't like I found it online or something. My aunt went on a holiday in Spain. Like, my cousins were like 8 and 13, and she was sitting up on their balcony looking down them in the swimming pool, and she was like just trying out her new phone. It was the first ever phone I'd seen in my life that had a selfie or had a camera on it. This is how old going back it was, and she took a picture of herself, but she just turned it around. And the gap between her and behind her the wall was about the same as here. Maybe even a bit less. No one could stand there. And she took a picture of herself, and she showed me the picture. There was a face, not even like, oh, is that a face? It was a face of her youngest son who was in the pool, just up there, like 2 feet behind her, like where the wall was. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And this is before apps. This is before you could edit stuff. And she was not tech. This was just from her vacation, and it really freaked me out. I still remember what it looked like, and it was his face right behind her.
These are
so
glitches
weird.
in the Matrix, man.
Yeah, it's just
that one
like,
freaked me out. Even
it's
to
like the
today.
server was lagging and
Like
they
those
just screw up.
Those helicopter that they don't move.
Yeah.
And you're like, glide.
How is he flying? So it's just that those kind of things you wonder. Okay, like in the movies, you see a person that's standing in a hole. Now that's visible. What most people see is like things moving, shit like that. So like, at what stage has anybody actually saw a person standing there in the middle of a hole in an abandoned hospital or anywhere? That's life
The
changing.
closest I've ever seen is that picture. That's the
Yeah.
closest I've
Also,
ever
I feel that like with modern day, like especially with, like movies and stuff, we tend to have a certain way of mastering. Now, with horror movies over a long period of time, they have a way of mastering this illusion of a ghost or a particular spirit, or this is the way they are, right? And jump scares and the way that they scare you. Because I mean, there's certain biological factors there as a human. You're looking in the I was telling you this earlier, you're looking in the deep dark grass, and if you're not naturally afraid, then you have that tension, then the lion jumps out, you're going to be afraid, right? And basically it's that internal biological mechanism that says, don't go into the dark corner, stay in the cave and be safe, right? Because our hardware isn't... but
also, when you're scared, you see things that are not there, obviously.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You see something that, when you're a kid and you're asleep, and
Your imagination's
your
going,
clothes looks like there's a person standing in front of you.
Yeah.
Like the hanger looks like somebody's in front of you, right? And you're like, is that?
seen. That's so weird. The curtains even moved on that one.
No, it's fine. It didn't follow us here.
They didn't properly moved.
There's no fan here.
I'm not joking. You can look at that back.
Oh, there's wind outside this way. Oh, but it's inside.
It's closed, yeah.
But no, basically what happened...
I'm just
Are
saying.
you serious?
I swear it was moving.
Well, I can see on the video. We can check it out later.
Yeah, we
I'm not bullshitting.
So what
Slightly.
I can say...
Mark up Don't let the spirits of here.
You guys.
So normally what you can see is, you have these like factors that make you like not want to go into the rustling jungle, right, in the dark. But normally when there's like weird spiritual or like weird stuff, it's usually something like really... I just feel like it's just weird stuff that you can't explain. But then you say, in the moment you can go, there must be an explanation for it. And then when you look back in hindsight, you're like, no, they were definitely, and what I think they're
That's
called
what usually happened to us.
idiosyncrasies. I think idiosyncrasies is the name. It's like
It's
a pattern of coincidences, which is too
coincidence.
and in your heart and soul. But then again, but also with science, it can explain a lot psychologically, right, with the phenomena. But then for you, and that's just generally how it is. Like hearing that hello and then hearing that creepy bark noise. I mean, what the hell? You never hear that. Now, we weren't even in a heightened state of fear when we were going out as well to hear that.
We were on the way to McDonald's.
Yeah, we were outside already. So, and it was the weirdest sound I've ever heard in the rustling of hedges. And it had to be in the goddamn
20
haunted
meters away from
hospital.
the haunted
That's why it's hard to tell when somebody tells you a story. Oh, I saw a woman stand there. And
He's
swore.
crazy.
Yeah, he's crazy. Yeah. It's always like, oh, he's been saying that story for 20 years. He's the crazy man from the town or something. Then again, you
Who
don't know.
knows what they saw?
Oh my
But
god.
I think most things are explainable if you take your time on it and understand what happened.
Like in
Most
Ireland,
things are.
in Ireland we have a thing
Yeah,
called
logic.
the banshee. And the
Wailing
banshee's,
banshees.
yeah, the banshee is basically the same as a Filipino aswang.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Very similar legends and folklore. And basically the banshee screams at night. It's a grey-haired woman with long hair, just like an aswang.
Red hair.
But yeah, red hair, yeah.
Ireland's red hair.
And basically, she's like supposed to be sitting out your window. And I think a lot of they attributed to it in the modern day. They figured out it was actually a fox. The fox would make that squealy ass noise in the middle of the night.
And they've red fur.
And then the Irish people, obviously in the old days in the folklore, they were able to make a story out of that.
Yeah.
They'd go hunt for it and they'd find the red hair of the fox and
Yeah.
attribute to the myth.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is
This is hard to.
things that go
But
up
the
at night.
folklore is so much more creepier than just like a wailing woman. It's like there's a bit of rules to it. If you hear the scream of a banshee, it means someone you know in your immediate like friend group is going to die. And if you don't hear it, but people with you hear it, it means you're going to die. Because you didn't hear it, and everyone else did.
Jesus.
It's the same as
That would
walking
creep
under a
me.
ladder.
What is
isn't
that movie?
Yeah,
where they say-
dropping salt.
Yeah,
What's that
you can
movie?
go crazy with tradition.
There's a movie
Yeah.
called Ritual. There's a bunch of people from the UK, I think, or US. They travel to Sweden. Have you seen that one?
Oh, I think.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, the backpacking one.
I've
Yeah,
seen
but
that.
like, I mean, half of it was alright, but the start of it rips you out.
I liked it because they introduced the element of conflict between the characters really well too.
Yeah.
Because the guy didn't save their friend who died.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That was,
Yeah.
it was
That's
a good buddy
interesting.
story with a good conflict base too. Like
That was a
it's
different
got a
movie.
different
I liked it.
yeah, nice
Creepy as
story.
well, with the whole what was it, like a big horse? It was like a mammoth. What's it called, mammoth?
Yeah.
And they're all praying to it. And
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like if you watch the movie I told you, the as above as so below, after what we did, you literally feel like you're that like. You probably should have watched that first before going there because you're gonna be scared.
I'm glad I didn't know.
It was exactly like that. When you go to the bottom, it was the same thing. That it was just creepy.
Yeah, if I watched something similar to today before and I had myself psyched up, it would have been much harder to go through the hospital today.
I don't know about you guys, but after stuff like that, I can't be alone. Like I'll be like 24/7 on the arms of Rachel.
Yeah. I'll be like, I go home, I'll be like, hey, do you want to watch a funny movie? Let's watch Grown Ups.
Yeah. Anything Adam Sandler.
Anything with Adam Sandler, yeah.
Dude, imagine how funny would it be to have Adam Sandler in this trip.
It's actually pretty cool to like watch. Yeah,
It's like,
I love watching.
even now, going home in a Grab, it's kind of creepy. Because
the driver?
You start thinking, you start going home thinking about it.
Nah, I think it's fine. Literally, yeah. No, for me,
No, the thing
it's
is-
that haunted hotel. But you know what's weird? You ever like think when you're later on, we're all alone and whatever, you start like thinking back,
Oh, you do think about it, yeah, for sure.
and then you're like, oh shit, we really went into that fucking creepy ass building.
Well,
You noticed
lights
it
on
when you went
tonight.
outside. You're like, dude, we were in
Actually,
that building.
that was the moment that sank in. When I looked back and we were out, and it just felt like Resident Evil. They just
Yeah.
came out of there.
When we first arrived in, it's like The Last of Us. It really
Yeah, it
is.
was
I
like
said
The
that.
Last
It's
of
like The
Us.
Last of Us.
It's like the totally like
You
the
know,
game.
Yeah.
in a sense, I'm glad I didn't see any shapes that were staring right at me because I go home tonight, think about that shape.
Yeah, that would have messed us up.
Yeah.
But if that
Time to run
happened,
corridors.
we couldn't blame anyone else. We decided to do it.
Yeah.
Like we should be thankful we didn't actually something.
Yeah, to
Like
be honest.
imagine how that would have fucked with
I
our
just can't
minds.
imagine if we were just all four of us going down the corridor, the really long ones, and we just put the flashlight up and there's just
Yeah.
someone standing at the end of it.
Holy
Nah,
shit.
man, screw
We would
that.
have freaked
You know,
out.
like, what'd you do there? Like, well, how'd you go home? How do you explain that to anybody?
Yeah.
It's gonna be scary editing this vlog because when I'm editing this vlog,
Are you gonna be there by yourself?
yeah, and I'll be seeing all the stuff.
Are you
that-
sure you wanna edit there?
You're right there, Sam. What did you say there?
Some movement in the window.
I honestly, out of sake, I would whoever you promised that you're gonna pull out the video, don't pull it. Like, don't edit it tonight.
I'm not editing it tonight. I'm gonna sleep tonight.
Have you ever seen the movie?
I'll edit it tomorrow day.
What's it called?
I don't know.
I have to get it out, but like it's gonna be really
It's
weird.
okay. We didn't say it at all.
No, it's okay because tomorrow I fly out anyway, so it's all good now. I'll be leaving at 8, so I'll be so busy with that I won't think of it at all.
Yeah.
But like I'll be editing, I'll be like looking over my shoulder.
Yeah, right.
Right?
No, but you know what's really fucked up? It's just like one of those Ring movies where like people like looking at the TV and then
Yeah, and then it,
Yeah.
I'm like the horror movie isn't when you're in the building, it's when you come home.
dude, and that's what I was actually thinking. I was like, all right, we didn't fucking see shit
You
happening.
know, I feel bad for Dan because he lives alone, so it kind of sucks.
Oh yeah,
It's like-
it's gonna be crazy, man.
Review the footage. If you see something, I'm on my own.
No, I'm gonna edit it. Open windows, looking TV, play in the background.
Crucifix around your.
Yeah, so
Nah, I'll be
Just-
okay. I just don't want to like. I don't want to have a scenario though where I'm like editing all the footage and then I start seeing stuff in that we missed.
Or you hear something in the audio. That'd be even worse.
yeah.
Like, straight up, like, come back here.
Dude, what would you guys do? Because I'm not gonna be editing myself.
Oh, I'll enhance it, increase it further. And
No,
Yeah.
but if you guys see something on the actual video, like will
that
you
means
guys
we're gonna go viral.
Like, will you like actually push it through? It's not like if you see something, it might be cursed or whatever. You know, the tape.
Yeah, but everything could be something.
Yeah, it's weird.
So I don't really. I have to keep my mind in
No,
control.
but I think we didn't see anything. So the thing is, even if you see something on the tapes, that's something from the footage.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the cassettes.
The hidden footage.
You know, we didn't see it. There was nothing there that threatened us or anything that harmed us in any way. It was just like somebody saying hello.
We were making sure that we were saying tabi tabi po every freaking second.
Like that person that said hello, most likely it was a person, security, right? Because we were flashing lights everywhere, so
Yeah,
most
makes
likely it was
sense.
somebody, right? So because as soon as we went out, started patrolling everywhere.
People,
Oh.
people have reported like stuff being thrown at them in there. You know
Really?
that? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's why when we were walking the stairs, I looked back at whoever was in the back of me, and I looked up like, yeah, it was you right in front of me. I was the second, and then it was you, and then it was you. And then we were walking, and then I heard a stone pass through my neck, and I saw it like a small stone, and I thought you guys were pranking the two of
No, I didn't
us.
throw anything.
No.
Wait, somebody actually threw a stone at you?
Yeah, no, and I saw it, and it went to your foot on your stairs because it passed from my back.
It was in front of you?
Why didn't you mention it?
When I was there.
It's a pretty big thing.
No, I didn't. I thought it was
Was it a
the
mosquito maybe?
in the first stairs.
Maybe
Didn't
it
you-
fell off the cement.
No, it felt like this. And I thought you guys were pranking.
No, honestly.
That's why I looked back and I was like, "What the fuck, really, guys?"
When was this?
On the first stairs,
The very first.
not the outside, huh? The inside. The first stairs when we decided to go up, right?
Yeah.
And then I looked at you guys because I was like, "Are you really actually guys pranking right now?"
I think you look back like, are you coming in here?
No. Because I looked and I was
I don't
like,
remember this. What was- You don't remember this? What
and then I
was it?
saw the stairs,
Go
right?
in, yeah.
And then it dropped.
Well,
This is the stairs, right? This is me, and then this was you, and this is your feet, right? This is your left foot. We were stepping. When you step on the left foot, and it like this small
The
stone.
thing landed there. Yeah.
And then I look at you guys, and I was like, "You guys actually
Did
tried."
anybody record it?
Hopefully.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, I didn't say anything
Who was at
because
the back of you?
they
Yeah,
don't.
than me.
Listen,
Well, I
maybe-
definitely didn't throw anything.
Maybe no. The thing is, I don't like making jokes there, like pretending to scare somebody.
I'm not lying on that. That
Yeah, no,
really
I
happened.
get you. That's weird.
Like I saw it.
Fuck. I'm gonna have to review that. If you guys see when you're editing, definitely check it out.
Well, that happened before, so I'm not too worried about that.
No,
one.
it's the building moving. It's an old
Yeah.
building.
It's an earthquake.
Oh god.
You know, that's funny because I was editing. This happened like 4 months ago. Remember when I told you like my walls started cracking?
You
Yeah,
said scratching.
yeah, scratching. Like I was editing and I could hear the walls scratching in my building, like this. I was like, what the hell is happening? It happened for a little while. The next morning I checked my walls. The paint cracked. But this because of an earthquake, yeah? I think it was an earthquake that day. And the
Or
walls started
is
cracking.
it?
Creepy, man, because I hear scratching and everything.
Yeah, no, it always happens when there's an earthquake. It's because the plaster on the exterior starts
It's
to
weak.
crack.
It's kind of weaker, but yeah, guys, I think that summons up our whole day at the Clark Abandoned Hospital.
Someone's off.
That is the
There's one thing I can say. If we left the spirits anywhere, is on Marco's place.
I just want you up.
I think that's not gonna happen.
Stay positive. Stay positive.
Because we have Monty here.
yeah. Actually, having a dog makes a big difference.
Right,
to
We
the,
have a fish.
With a fish.
We have a cat.
Yeah, there's a lot of movement.
Why is that, right? When when you're like alone till like that, you're like super like fuck. And then when at least you have a dog or another animal, you're like, okay. Yeah, but even a fish. I remember I looked literally there was a fish in my house when I was alone and my parents were out and I was like, okay, I'm good, there's a fish here. I'm like, what the hell is that gonna do to save me? You just need the company, right?
Any company, yeah.
So when I was in that place, I look at the moths and the mosquitoes and whatever is there, and
at
I'd be
least we
like,
know.
well, they're here. They're not scared.
I don't know. I like this podcast because it's like it made us realize what actual stuff that happened.
Yeah.
Like I didn't think
Voice.
the stone thing or
Yes.
Or the
glow
voice,
thing.
or that stupid tree barking. Like when you're thinking about it in the moment, it's like it has a
Yeah, it's normal.
conclusive-
It's not that.
But then
You know,
afterwards, in hindsight,
it
you look back
almost
and
sounded
like, too many
like
coincidences.
we're leaving, come back. You know?
No, I don't want to go back there.
No, it sounded like they're making noise so we can come back or something,
It's-
or like, you know what
Oh,
I mean?
and,
That's weird.
another thing, you just feel like 90% stressed the whole time there.
Yeah,
Stressed.
frustrated.
You're stressed about like falling down a hole or injuring yourself. Or
Security going by
getting
everywhere.
in trouble or like.
But I can tell you 100%, seeing people is so much more scarier.
Did your cameras turn off? Yeah,
I
it
got
did.
checked. Oh, that's the lens though, because this is a weak tripod.
Wait, why
Stop
did it
recording.
stop?
No, that's still recording.
No, but what was
It
it?
used to be a red
It
light.
moved though.
Yeah, why did it move? It's not on, is it?
No, but because see with the lens,
Are we getting tired?
no, the lens goes in and it's
Guys,
a
where
weak
are we
tripod.
going later? Can I come with you?
Wait, what did Rachel say? Babe, wake up. Yo, wait. That was on, right?
Pack your shit.
Wait, why did
It had a
why
red
did it
light
move?
on it.
Very low battery.
Oh, it's low bat. Okay, you mean it turned off, right? And then the tripod moved. That's right.
Casper.
No, see the one. No, see, ones that are closest, look how sensitive it is.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
This is what you do when you're like trying to fucking establish
Yes,
like
it's-
scenarios.
It went out of battery.
Okay.
But and then you go, there must be a reasonable explanation for this, and you think about it, and then you're like, then you got to go home, and then 2 days later,
See
there was
what
never a
happens?
reasonable
See what happens?
explanation for
I
this.
got grouped out the other day as well because I had a facial right there, but the aircon was a bit too hard.
Uh-huh.
So I saw the facial moving. I said, why is it moving? And then the explanation was the aircon. Makes
Uh-huh.
sense. But it was low enough, but it still managed to kind of move
I
it.
think that's how the people that have so many conspiracy theories live. You know,
Right.
they live in that half imagination, half reality.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's so much more fun, you know what I mean?
I mean,
I just want to say to the people watching this far into the podcast, you're cursed unless
Yeah.
you hit the like button.
Hey, watch
Like
this shit. If you watch this and you
Like
don't
and
like and
subscribe.
subscribe
You're
and
cursed.
comment and share, you guys, you have 7 days to live. I'm calling it.
alright guys, let's end this podcast, guys. Thank you for watching episode 2 of Lobolab podcast. Yeah, we'll see next week. We'll come up with another one. Yeah, we'll see how it goes from there on. But anyways, episode 2 finished. Take care, guys.
Peace.
Peace.